Hello. In this video, we're going to show you how easy it is to set up an area for trolling with Undersea Explorer. Show you what the benefits of it are, and just really, like I said, just to show you how easy it is. So I've picked a small section of one of my favorite lakes, and what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to set up a new project for this little demonstration. I'm going to call it Trolling Demo. Okay, I'm just going to hit record, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to make a kind of a square section out of this area. I'm just going to kind of enclose it by making a loop around it. And then we'll make a few more passes through it just to pick up more detail. So what's happening with the software is it's interfacing right now in real time. We're actually out here in a boat. We're moving around this area that we suspect could be some good trolling. So the software, Undersea Explorer, is collecting data and making a map from that data as we move around. So I'm going to go ahead and move in towards the shore. And we're fairly close to the bank, so here in just a minute we should see the bottom starting to come up. I'm just going to head in towards the shore here, and I'll go in somewhat close. So I know I'm going to want to be trolling from 10 to 20 feet, probably 15, 20 feet. So I don't really need to go in too much closer than 10 feet for this demonstration. And we can see our bottom starting to come up. I'm going to start turning just so I don't hit the bank. And I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so I can see more of the picture. You can see now it's already started making contours based on the data that we already have. Now the contours aren't quite exact or accurate yet, but here in just a couple minutes you'll see that things will start to fill in fairly quickly. So I'm just now paralleling the bank. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a zigzag pattern, just in and out, towards the bank and out. And that's going to give me a basic contour map. So I'll kind of see what it looks like down there. It won't be exact yet, but we'll get the idea. So as you can see on the sonar, I've kind of got out past where the slope hits the flat part of the lake. So I'm just going to loop in. I'm just going to do like a zigzag pattern in and out, and you'll see the contours starting to form. Doesn't matter if I cross back over points. It's not a problem with Undersea Explorer. It knows what we're doing. It knows what to do. And I don't have to be exact on this pattern. I'm just getting just enough points in the area so I can just start to see what it looks like. So it looks like I've kind of gone out past where the slope meets the bottom, or the flat part of the lake, I should say. So what we're going to show with this software is how fast you can set up where it is you want to be trolling and where your productive water is. You know, when you're walleye fishing, trout, salmon, whatever, we know how important it is to stay on those contours. We know those fish are hanging out there, so we want to stay in productive water as much of the time as possible. And as an experienced fisherman, you know that sometimes that's kind of hard to do when the shore or the structure is kind of jutting in and out. It's not really uniform. I think you can see from the map that's already being created, we have an area that is a little steeper, and then we have like a kind of a point coming out. Looks like I saw a fish down there about 16 feet. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to follow this general slope at about 15 feet or so if I can. And as you watch the contours, you'll see that they'll start to refine a little bit. And while I'm at it, I think I'll go fill in a little more of this corner right over here. Because it looks like it's fairly steep against the bank. I'm only about 40 feet out from the bank right now. So I'll go kind of fill in this corner. Just get a little more detail. Okay, I'm going to turn around, take a look at our map, zoom in just a little bit, and I'm going to set up a trolling line that is 15 to 20 feet. And I think I'll change that color to yellow because I think it'll show up a little better. There we go. So now you'll see that what I've got is I've got a guide that's going to keep me in that 15 to 20 foot zone. So I'm going to just try to follow that around, and you'll see that as I do that, the contours will just be continuously adjusting. So my first trolling pass through, I may not be right on, but by the second time through, it's going to be a little better. And then by the third time, you will be almost right on. Now the nice thing about this is that you will, as you know, when you're trolling and you have a structure that juts in and out, it's hard to stay in that zone. You're continuously crossing in and out of the productive water. You're having to constantly adjust in and out, and you're spending half your time out of good fishing water. And so what this is going to do is help us stay in that productive zone. So let's say I've determined that the fish are between 15 and 17 feet. I'm going to narrow down my depth band, and then I'm going to make another pass through there. I'll make that 15 and 17. And I'm going to turn around, and you'll notice here in just a second it'll automatically update without me doing anything. I'm going to turn around, and that band should narrow. There we go. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Now I'm going to make a pass through that zone. And I think as you watch the sounder video, you'll see that we should be staying pretty close to that depth. And if not on this pass, almost surely the next pass will almost always be almost the exact depth. So now the nice thing about this is I can see ahead of time where it is I need to make my turns while I'm trolling. So once I get this straightened out here, I can see I got to start turning to stay in that zone. This is a really tight little outcropping, so it was a little difficult to stay in there. I'm turning the boat pretty tightly. Okay, here we go. I can turn my points off. A little better picture there.